Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. KSI versus Danis. My prediction. Right, I'm going to be completely honest with you. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I am coming around to the YouTuber boxing scene. I am. Right, as long as you don't mix it with professional boxing, you're not calling professional fighters out. I don't have an issue with it, with YouTubers fighting MMA fighters or fighting each other. I don't. Stay in your lane. You're not professionals. As long as you're fighting each other, I don't mind it. And I'm interested in this fight. I am. Right? But let me tell you something. Danis will get stopped. Right? It'll probably last a few rounds. Right? And it's not just because KSI is a better boxer, because they're probably about the same level. KSI is really not a good boxer. Right? He's not a great boxer. He telegraphs his shots. He's not got the best shot selection. You know, he's tough, he's fast, you know, he's fit, but he's not a great boxer. And if he fights Jake Paul, he will get knocked out. He will. Like, he's just not a great boxer, right? So in boxing terms, they're not that far apart, right? KSI is better, but they're not that far apart, right? But you've got to factor in certain things, right? Number one, Danis had reconstruction surgery in 2020, right? He posted a tweet saying, "7 hours of reconstruction surgery," right? Like, the guy won't be able to move. He already looks fat and out of shape. Right, so what fitness level is he going to be? And with KSI, the one thing you can't say about him is that he's out of shape. He's always in shape. He's a fit bloke, right? He is known for his cardio. That's what I've been told, right? So he's a fit guy. So just on that aspect, if they're the same level boxing wise, or KSI is a bit better, if someone's fitter than you, they're going to beat you. Right, Danis is just going to look like a fat slob when he gets in there. Right, he's not going to come in any type of shape. It's just a payday, and to be quite honest with you, Danis is all that's wrong with this YouTuber thing, with this YouTuber boxing scene, because he's the one guy that you don't want to get a payday because he doesn't deserve it. You know, you can say what you want about the YouTubers, but at least they're successful in their industries. This guy has a name because Conor McGregor gave him a bit of attention, brought him into his fight camps for the Diaz and Khabib fights, right? All he's done since then is just talk a load of shit on social media. His name is there because of Conor McGregor, who never mentions his name anymore. I never hear him talk about him. That's the only reason this guy's relevant. He's not really relevant, but it's the only reason why people want to see him get beat, really, because they're sick of the crap, the constant shit posts on social media. Oh, I'll give you £5,000 if you retweet this, or if this fighter wins, I'll give you £2,000. Go and show us the evidence, mate. Right? Go and show us the evidence. You've given someone £5,000 for retweeting something, right? Or for picking a winner, or whatever the crap you're coming out with. Other constant shitty talks. He's going to be the best UFC fighter. He's going to beat Islam Makhachev. All this crap, and it's like, you don't want to get drawn in because you don't want to give this guy attention. He doesn't deserve it. Like, he just doesn't deserve the attention, and people want to see him get beat, but people have turned off him because they just know he talks shit. And I think this is the one thing that people don't appreciate, is that he is going to get a big payday, and he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve a big payday. He's never dedicated himself to any type of sport. I know he's done jiu-jitsu, right? And, you know, he was a black belt. I think it was Marcelo Garcia who gave him his black belt. So clearly very talented in that, but he got thrown out of that academy. You know, what's he ever stuck to? Talking about the way he talks about other fighters, it annoys me, right? It does. It annoys me. I don't want to see him get this payday, right? But he is going to get it, so it is what it is. But in regards to a boxing sense, if you're looking at his boxing, it's not great, is it? I saw an American YouTuber break it down, right? And honestly, it was just utter shite, the video. I'm not going to say who it is. He's got a decent following. I think he was commentating on the Deji and Mayweather fight, and he breaks this Danis. He breaks his boxing, right? And there's one particular, breaks his boxing down. There's one particular scene in this where, like, he's got fancy production and, you know, he's obviously put money into his YouTube channel and he sounds professional. But just because you have good production and you sound well doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. And the terminology he's using, there's a scene here, I'm going to pull it up, where Danis throws an uppercut and pivots and... but the terminology that this bloke uses, he says, lead uppercut, change angle off the centre line, then bang left hook behind, right? So he says, lead uppercut, changes the angle off centre line, bang left hook behind. Changing the angle off centre line, like, he's really not that advanced, Dillon Danis, right? If you look at this footage, what this bloke doesn't say or doesn't break down is how technically poor it is when he's going off centre line, right? Look at his feet are off the air. Like, look at this, you'll see it. So that means if someone pushes you, you're off balance, you'll fall on the floor. Never mind someone actually punching you. A shove will throw you on the floor. So when you pivot, right, you have to have solid fundamentals. Your body, your feet need to be on the floor. So you throw the punch, right, then you pivot. You don't throw the punch and pivot at the same time, because any competent boxer will just counter you, block it, counter you, and you're off balance. You get put on the floor, you get knocked out, right? So he doesn't break that down. He makes it sound like it's really technical from Dillon Danis when it's really technically poor, and you can just see it here. The feet are off the ground. You know, when you pivot, a pivot is when you change angle. Like, Ricky Hatton's very good at it. Canelo's good at it. You know, so basically you're in front of your fighter, right? And then what you'll do is you might throw a right hand, and then you'll just create a little angle. You'll turn your feet around. You'll pivot your feet, right? And that sets up a different shot from a different angle. Right? Rather than just staying in front of your opponent all the time, the good fighters, they create little angles, just little sudden foot movements. As I say, Ricky Hatton was a master at it. Dillon Danis ain't a master at it because he's pivoting when he's throwing the punch. You don't do that. You throw the punch, then you pivot because your feet are on the ground. You've got solid fundamentals, right? That's when you throw. That's when you throw the punch after you pivot. You don't pivot at the same time. Honestly, it's just like the way, and people listen to these breakdowns and they probably think, I can't wait for this fight. Yeah, Dillon Danis is really good at boxing. Like, what's he done boxing wise? With KSI, at least he's been training. What's Dillon Danis done? He's had 7 hours surgery, reconstruction knee surgery. He's not fought since 2019. His cardio is going to be nothing. There'll be no cardio there. He'll be gassing out. As soon as KSI throws punches at him, he's going to be finished. Right? That's it. If he doesn't knock KSI out with a punch in the first round, he's fucked. Right? There'll be no cardio there. And that's why KSI's picked him. KSI will stop him. Right? It might not look that pretty, right? But he will just bludgeon him with punches. He's fitter, he's stronger. And Dillon Danis won't have the cardio, won't have the fitness. He's not got the defense to worry KSI, to be quite honest with you. So I don't think it's that competitive, this fight. And it's not, as I say, it's not the boxing ability. They're not KSI's a bit better. It's not unbelievable. It's not like you wouldn't say he's levels above, right? He's a bit better. But it's the lack of fitness, it's the lack of cardio, it's the lack of ring time. Like, what's he been doing? This footage of him boxing, what is it? I mean, you see this shot here, it's an uppercut. Where that's come from is just copying Conor McGregor throwing uppercuts. That's all that is, and it's just a sloppier version. If you watch Conor McGregor throw his uppercuts, he throws his uppercut, throws it decent, to be fair. But if you compare it, he's just trying to copy Conor McGregor. That's all he's trying to do. Like, So Dillon Danis is very, very, very technically inefficient as a boxer. These people, these YouTubers, these influencers, whatever they are, they can break it down. They might sound professional, right? But it's utter bullshit, right? Utter bullshit. As I said, this guy, the way he was breaking down this, you'd think he's fucking Muhammad Ali. It's just, honestly, it's crap. So my prediction is KSI will absolutely smash Dillon Danis 2 pieces because Dillon Danis hasn't got the cardio, hasn't got the fitness, and hasn't got any type of boxing ability. Let me know your thoughts. Who wins the fight? KSI, Danis? Can Danis win the fight? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.